So for my interviewing speech, I decided that I was going to do them based off of pods that I did for school. So one day I decided to go volunteering for pods, and then I ended up working with a veterinary technician and a vet. And the veterinary technician happened to be a Statzenberger graduate. So we started talking about all the different things that she does, what she helps the vet do. So we started talking about the job, and she told me how she normally starts at 7 or 8 in the morning and works sometimes till 7 at night, depending on how much stuff she has to do. She worked Monday through Friday, most times, I'm pretty sure she said. And sometimes she has to do a lot of things with the veterinarian before she goes home for the day. And she told me that she puts the files together for the animals that are supposed to get spayed or neutered the next day, or for the animals that have to get dentals done, or get shots done, or get heartworm tests done, get spayed, get neutered, anything that the vet has to do, she would help get together the night before, so that way the morning of they don't have to worry about the paperwork and they just get it done with already. She told me how she has to do surgery packs the night before, which is putting together the different tools that they used for spay and neuters, and like all the different types of, not scalpels, but like just tools that they have to use. And this is a type of, that's the surgery pack that I helped make. And the tape on there, right there, is where you normally would write no scalpel handle, which is where you put the blade in a handle to make the scalpel to be able to cut open the animal. So I ended up helping her get some hands-on. I ended up helping her, and I got the opportunity to get some hands-on experience. So she showed me how to do dentals, which is using a tool that scrapes the tartar off of the teeth and the gums. Well, mainly the teeth. You're not supposed to touch it with the gums. She showed me and explained to me how to hold it, and how the pedal on the ground, you press it with your foot and it controls the speed of the machine that powers the tool. She showed me that the tool sprays water to be able to clear the blood and the plaque and tartar from the tooth, so you can see what you're doing still. She told me the way you have to hold it, which you have to use the sides. You don't want to use the tip of it. It's kind of like a hook looking thing, and you want to use the sides because if you use the tip, that could potentially hurt and damage the tooth, because it's grinding right on the teeth. Then she showed me how to find a blood vein on a dog's arm, which is like looking for a rubber band pretty much, and showed me how to make a heartworm test, which is putting a drop of blood in this little container and putting 2 drops of a clear liquid and waiting 10 minutes till it changes. Then while I was doing the dental, it helped me realize that maybe that's what I wanted to do, because it was fun and I liked doing it. So it was awesome. Then she talked to me about how the different tools that go in spays and that go in neuters. Like with spays, you don't need certain tools, but with spays you need a lot more tools than you need with neuters, because spays are a lot more complicated, just because you're looking for the uterus and you have to go through more organs, I guess you could say. With a neuter, all you have to do is look for the testicles and pretty much cut the testicles off and make a tie with the veins, and then you're done. I watched them do a couple of those, so it was pretty interesting. Then we started talking about how I was looking for jobs and that I should look for vet assistant jobs, go on Craigslist, stuff like that, just because as soon as I can get my foot in the door, the better, just because it could be a potential job when I graduate. We really didn't get into how much she got paid, just because I don't think that's none of my business right now, just because it's not my job. So, doing this interview and working these pods helped me realize that I like doing dentals, and maybe it's an area that I should look further into, just because it was fun for me. It showed me that as a vet tech, you work long days and may not get breaks during the day. You might have to eat while you work pretty much, which is what she had to do because of how many spays and neuters they had to get done and how many dogs were on the floor and how many they needed to do. And then it's definitely not easy work. I was watching my first spay and I almost got sick just because I've never seen real guts like that. So the one thing that I took out of this day and the interview with her is that this is what I want to do. I want to be a vet tech, and this is what finalized it for me because I like the fast-paced work, how the extra hands help them, and how talking to her helped me realize some things. So some of their daily tasks and responsibilities, from what I was told by her, was figuring out what dogs need to be spayed and what dogs need to be neutered, what type of tests need to be run, what type of chemicals and fabrics you need to put into things, because they had to use 2 different types of chemicals. One was pink, I don't remember the name, and it was mixed with water to clean and disinfect the dog's stomach before they did surgery, and then you wiped it down with alcohol, I think it was, and you had to do that 3 times in a circular motion. Then pretty much cleaning cabins to be able to put animals that are recovering from the anesthesia from the procedure would need to be put in. The typical hours, from what I was told by her, can be long. They can be unexpected, and you might think you're only working 5 hours, and it might turn into a 7 or 8 hour shift, which you got to be okay with, just because you're the person that the vet is relying on to help them with and take care of things. The most important class experience, I was told, and I'm pretty sure I already knew, were doing the pods, because the pods are the most hands-on thing I'm probably going to get during this schooling. The labs, but pods are going to give me the out-of-class feel of what it actually feels like to do in a vet facility, so it's helpful. Professionally, in 5 to 10 years, I see myself hopefully as a vet tech, done with school, and working on paying off my student loans, hopefully. This is definitely a growing field. It's not as big in Ohio than it is in other places, just because of how many people are being graduated, or not being, but how many people are graduating for being a vet tech. So a lot of jobs are being taken up, but by I think 2020 or something like that, the amount of jobs that should be opening up is a substantial amount from what I was told in class. The most stressful part of the job I saw for her was probably the having to go. Not being able to take more than a 5-minute break at one point, if at all, just because of how many puppies they were taking care of and how many animals they had to check. They ended up getting a shipment of like 4 bunnies that the vet had to check over to make sure they were okay to be put on the floor to get adopted. The degrees and classes I'm assuming that'll help the most with this field is probably being the endomine physiology, just because it's learning the body and the different types of organs for what you need to know to be able to do surgery on, because you need to know what you're cutting at if you're going to start cutting at something. You need a degree in science, I'm assuming, just because that's what we're going for, and you need to know about the body, and science is about the body mostly. She got interested in the field just because she likes animals, and that's why a lot of people are in this field, because they want to help animals and take care of them. The most important skills for the job, from what I saw, are probably being able to stay on your feet, being able to act quickly, being able to run back and forth with dogs and get them in and out of there, get them checked, get them taken care of, faster you get the animals, the faster you can get done. So I think being able to be on your toes all day helps, which I think is a good thing because at least it makes the work go fast. I was there from like 11 to 6, and the whole time we were talking, and it went by really fast. There's opportunity for advancement, I think, because if you start off as a receptionist, and from what I've been told, you can go to a vet assistant if they need you. They can train you to be that, and then you can go up to a vet tech once you get your degree. At least that's what I would do. I would go for a vet assistant and then get up to a vet tech. Personality and characteristics for the job are probably being being a nice person, because you need to be able to relate to the owners. You need to be able to tell them, look, your dog needs this, we recommend this, and it's up to them, but you need to be able to be nice to them, because you being nice to them will make them open up to you more. We didn't really get into her average salary just because I didn't really think it was my place to ask, so I hope you liked my speech. Thanks.